This video is going to explain how to use Pythagorean Theorem to find a missing side on a right triangle. So Pythagorean Theorem has an equation that you use to help you solve for a missing side. It is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. This might seem a little confusing, but after we do some examples, it's going to be super easy. Pythagorean Theorem can only be used with specific types of triangles. And as you can see on this page, it says a right triangle. Down on the diagram below, when you look at where the right angle is located, the sentence below it, it says that the two sides that form the right angle are the legs. We're going to fill that in as our missing word. The two lines that connect to make the right angle, these are called legs. Then the side that's opposite of the right angle is called the hypotenuse. The side opposite the right angle. Hypotenuse. To explain how a squared plus b squared equals c squared works, there's a diagram on this page. The right angle is going to be here. 3 is how many units long one of the legs are. 4 is how many units long the other leg is. And when I do the square, if I were to do 3 squared, that tells me how much space is located right here. It's 9 square units. And then if I did 4 squared for this other leg, it tells me how many square units I have in this box, which is 16. Then the opposite side, which is your hypotenuse, is 5. So if I were to do 5 squared, it tells me how many spaces in the large, and that is 25. Then what happens is when you add those two together, 9 plus 16, it actually equals 25. And that's how you could determine the size of the larger square. This slide, we're going to look at an example that's already been worked out for you. And this says what's happening is the hypotenuse is missing. I need to find the length of it. And remember, the hypotenuse from the slide before is the line opposite of the right angle. So that line is c squared. The two legs, we already know the lines that form the right angle are 7 and 24. So when you look over at the equation here, they've replaced A with 24. They replaced B with 7. So now squaring those means 24 times 24 is 576. And 7 times 7 is 49. Now I'm going to add the small and the medium size square together. And that's how they get 625. So all the way down, this says c squared because I don't know the value of the big square. It's missing. When you get to the bottom and it says add your two legs together, 625, the value of just one side of that big square is how you get 25. So to do that, you do square root of 625. And that's how you get the answer for your missing length for the hypotenuse. If I wanted to show you a picture of what that looks like, I would have the small square plus the medium sized square, and that has to equal the large square. So by looking at my equation and filling in the numbers that they put, the small square was 49 and the medium square was 576, and then the large square totaled up to 625. Now, if you're not sure where the little numbers are coming from or why they make sense, 49 was because you did 7 times 7. 576 was because it was 24 times 24. When you see it in a picture. Now, what was missing from the diagram is I don't know what these numbers are that were getting multiplied together to make 625. So in order for me to do that, that's the reason I did square root of 625. So maybe seeing this picture part helps out some people. If so, awesome. And if you don't need this, then you can just disregard. On this page, we're going to do one all by ourselves. It's not worked out. So the formula or the equation I'm going to use is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I'm going to take the two small legs, the lines that are making the right angle. I'm going to color code those. These two sides added together equal the hypotenuse, which is the line opposite the right angle. It's always the longest. Now I'm going to fill in the numbers that I know. So one of the sides, it doesn't matter if it's A or B, it's going to be 20. So 20 squared plus the other leg is 48. 48 squared equals C, and this is the number I don't know, so I'm just going to have to leave it as the variable C and write C squared. Now I'm just going to work it out like a normal equation. And 20 squared, 20 times 20 is 400. And 48 squared, 48 times 48 is 2,304. And together, those will equal C squared. So the sum of those two amounts is 2,704. That would be the value of the big square. If you need to know how long just one line is of that square or one side, you're going to do square root of 2,704. That's going to tell you how much the side is, and that would be 52. So now I know the length of this missing side is 52. So the other thing that can happen when you're using Pythagorean Theorem is you could be missing one of the legs. So one of the lines that's connecting to form the right angle doesn't have the measurement, and that's what we're going to show an example of for this one is a missing leg. So again, I'm just going to color code the lines that are the legs. They form the right angle. We don't know one of them. And in this particular example, they have labeled that as A. So you can see A continue just to stay the variable. So I'm going to label it as A on this side. And then C is always the longest one. And they chose B to be 12. So when they set up their equation, B is now replaced with 12. So 12 squared, or 12 times 12, is 144. They replaced C with 15, because the diagram said that. 15 times 15 is 225. So now, here is what's happening. I can't add A and 144 because I don't know those. So for me to figure out what this is, I would end up subtracting in this spot. These two numbers actually get subtracted when you work out the equation. So 225 minus 144. And then that's how they come up with 81. And then at the end, in order for me to find out how long the line is, I would then do square root of 81. And that's why they say that the missing number is 9. Okay, last example for this video. Again, we are going to find one of the missing sides for the Pythagorean Theorem right triangle. The equation we start out using is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. I'm going to color code, or I'm going to label the parts of the triangle. The legs are the lines that form the right angle. And this time one of them's missing. I'm going to say A is missing. I'm going to say B is 18. And I do know the hypotenuse, the line opposite the right angle, is C, and that is 82. So when I come over here to my equation and I start labeling or substituting out the numbers for the variables, A, I don't know, so I'm going to keep it A squared. B, the diagram says substitute 18. And then C in the picture is 82. So 82 squared. Now if I simplify out those exponents, A squared is going to continue to stay a variable. But 18 times 18 is 324. And then 82 times 82 is 6,724. Now I'm going to continue to work this out like a regular equation. And if I don't know what number to add, I would do the opposite, and I would subtract 324. So that's what I'm going to put underneath here. Minus 324, minus 324. Just like when we saw basic equations. After I subtract, the amount that I get is going to be 6,400. And then a squared, the value of the whole square is 6,400. But if I just want to know how long the line is, I need to do square root of 6,400. And that equals 80. So the leg of the triangle that was missing is now 80 inches long. If you guys are ever having to work out problems that have square root and you don't have a scientific calculator at home, you can just go on your internet browser. I used Google and I just typed in scientific calculator, and this option opened up, and it actually does have the square root button on it. It's right here. So I just typed in an example. The number I typed in was square root of 148. This is not a perfect square. You can see that it's an ongoing decimal. So in my class, I usually tell my students to round to the hundredths place unless you get a problem that tells you otherwise. So for my kiddos, the hundredths place is the second digit behind the decimal, but they're going to look at the third digit and see if they should round up or stay the same. So in this one, because the third digit is a 5, they would end up rounding up. So I would say that the square root of 144 instead of equals, I would say it's approximately. Let me erase that and change it. The square root of 144 is approximately, so I have wavy equal signs, 12.17.